Welcome to Headwreckas KingTV, produced by the homies at Conceptual Logistics Entertainment. Um, this is a weekly show where we're gonna always keep it real. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the host, me, D. Will.
You can't believe everything you see on the TV. You can't believe everything.
And you're back to Headwreckas King TV with your host D. Will. As you probably have read or seen on the internet or seen on the television, there was a very horrific scene out there in Paris, France, on Friday, I believe. Muslim extremists took over a couple of areas, I guess, out there. I think it was like six different situations they had going out there, six different bombing sites, and they happened to kill, I think, 132 people. And so, we want to start off by saying, a prayer to say a prayer for the people out there in Paris, France. I can only imagine how horrible it is over there, being home. And I just want to send out my love to everybody out there. and we're gonna and also with sending my love, do a little commentary about it and how I feel about what's going on out there and what has happened. I want to start it off by saying, in no way do I feel that all Muslims are bad. In no way do I feel that um, a majority of Muslims are bad. It is, I think just like everybody else, I believe that most people are the same, no matter your color, your race, whatever. It's going to be 10, 15% crazy people of all religions, ethnic backgrounds, um, the people where they stay. It's going to be 15% of people that are all going to be crazy. And it just so happens that the 15% that's going on right now, 2015, is the 15% of Muslims that are out there going crazy, insane. In the last 30 days, and also, on a side note, I see on the Facebook a lot of pray for France, pray for Paris. And we should pray for Paris. And I see a lot of those things. But I'm going to read what's happened in the last 30 days, and you let me know if you saw any kind of flag for these people who also lost their lives. So in the past 30 days, Muslim extremists have killed 20 in Nigeria, 224 on a Russian plane bound to St. Petersburg, 42, I think, just a few days ago in Lebanon, and 132 in Paris on Friday. So that's, if I'm looking at it, that's like 240, 282, 268, like 318 people have died. No, 418 people have died in the past 30 days from Muslim extremists. 3 other places we didn't see any flags about it. So we've got to all figure out what's going on and what we have and what can we do. There was the Democratic debate last night, which is insane. I don't know why anybody has their debate on the Saturday night when families need to, be together and do other stuff. They're not sitting around watching TV. So I didn't really get to see all of it like I wanted to, but, what I did see is what they were talking about on the Muslim extremists. And I don't know, last week I might have said that I felt that, America should let it ride and let them do their own thing out there and, let them do what they need to do, get their stuff straight first before we even step in, because we don't know which side is which. But, after you read about all these attacks, do you just, as Americans and as, open-hearted Americans, can we really sit back and just watch 400 people in the last 30 days die of terrorism? Now, knowing that more than 400 people died in 30 days, and from all different kinds of stuff, but I don't know if in the last 30 days one specific thing killed 418 people. So I think we gotta. It's gonna. I don't know what to say about it. It's gonna be a real hard time. You know, going forward in recognizing the bad Muslims from the good Muslims, and this is going and not the bad versus good, just the super extremists, because there's extremists that the extremist Muslims out there that probably aren't killing, they're just taking things to the extreme without killing because they don't think that's a good thing. But these far right extremist Muslims, um, it's going to be hard to separate them from everybody else, especially with the Syrian refugee thing going on. Now I think there was a few reports, which I don't know if I believe, saying that one of the bombers had Syrian passport or Syrian something. And when you think about that, if I blow myself up, are y'all gonna find my Syrian passport? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if this is all propaganda, but I know that as just a regular human being, if 20 or 224 or 42 or 132 people just died in my area, in my vicinity, people that I know, people that I go to school with, do anything. If I was around there, I would have a strange eye towards anybody that I thought was going to do harm to my family or friends, and that's anybody. But when it just happened to be Muslims, it's going to be, we can't. It's going to be hard for me to get mad at somebody who's a little pissed off at Muslims right now, especially if they were part of any of these communities that just got bombed. So what I think we should do is, knowing that most of the Muslims out here are just like me and you, regular people with hearts that don't want to see anybody get killed, that don't want to do anything like that. We need them to us to speak out and condone each other. That's the first thing we got to do. Like when they say, it's exactly like they say with black folks. Oh, you can't get mad at cops killing you when you're killing each other. So somebody should stand up and talk, which black people have been doing and have been doing for a long time. It's just not in the media, but that makes sense. You can't really get mad at somebody else when you're doing it to yourself, when you're doing it to your own people. So I think I want to just send a plea to any moderate, any Muslim that doesn't believe that people should die because they're not Muslim or they're not the right type of Muslim, to speak out and just try to be heard. And, let's try to make a movement for you, for the people for the victims and for yourselves, to show that you're not this insane religion that people are getting murdered behind. That's just a far small percentage of what y'all got going on out there. It's also been a lot of beef out there on the internet about these people saying prayers to Paris, and people putting on the filter or whatnot, and people not doing that, and people getting upset. We can't get upset in America when we know 100% that all we do is watch TV. We don't, and not only do we watch TV, the news we get isn't usually the real news. So if it doesn't have to do with money or the right people or the right type of people, we're not going to hear about it. So I can't get mad at the next man for not knowing that 42 people died in Lebanon like a couple of days before this happened. I can't get mad at him for not knowing that 20 people died in Nigeria just like less than 30 days ago, because that's not getting spoke about on the news. I might hear about it because I have alternative sources, which I recommend anybody get. Just pick your own. There's many news podcasts. They'll give you the real deal every time. Maybe they might put a spin on it, but it's going to at least be the news, what happened. So we can't get mad at each other for that, for not having the knowledge and the information that you think they should have, or that you yourself, more than likely, most of the people found out about it, then found out about Lebanon, and then started acting like it was a big deal, you know. So we got to quit blaming each other, quit pointing fingers at each other, and trying to bully people to feel a certain way. You know, some people are gonna feel. There are some people that, for some reason, are sympathetic towards the Muslim cause, which I am. You know, I definitely am. I know. I don't know what it's. I I sort of know what it's like to be, you know, hated just because of something that you are, sort of. You know, where I grew up and, you know, in Houston, Texas, even though there's stuff going on around here, it's not that you're going to really feel hated most of the time unless you're dealing with the police. But I think that's everybody. But we won't go into that right now. The whole point of this whole segment is that we need to love each other. We need to speak out for wrong, no matter who it's against, or what it's against. We need to speak out against wrong. We need to love one another, and we need to learn from our differences and try to make a difference in the world. You know, we can't have 400 plus people dying every 30 months over religious extremism. We can't have that every 30 days. So I'm just reaching out to everybody and just, you know, want to give y'all a big hug. Come on in. And let's just try to get this
Can't believe everything you see on the TV.